broadcast is an alternative video game programme. Viewers should prepare themselves for games-related jokes, nonsense and general hijinks.
From the alternative world of video games today, a Vegas video game poet, FIFA versus Pro Evolution, the making of an oddball classic, and Lucy Pinder takes the dance challenge. Hi viewers, I love shopping. Retail therapy, that's what they call it, and I love that too. Therapy, I mean how fantastic that it doesn't matter whether you're suffering from codependency, anger management, or bedwetting. You can pay a complete stranger a fortune to tell you it's all your mum's fault. Brilliant. And so is this letter which I received from Mr. R. Crusoe from Lincolnshire. It says, "Dear Dominic, if you could only take one game onto a desert island, what one would it be? I have a really bad feeling I'm going to end up shipwrecked soon and want to pack accordingly." Well, this is a silly question, Mr. Crusoe. There is no electricity on a desert island. But I think you'll find that trying to catch fish with a sharp stick, eating berries without knowing whether they'll kill you or not, and avoiding the clutches of cannibals will be more exciting than any game. Anyway, cheating is something I can never condone, except when used by the Inland Revenue. But I know there are games animals out there who can't play without cheating. So for the benefit of them, here's our top 5 best games cheats ever. At 5, Daytona Racing. The prospect of playing this arcade classic at home was one of the main things that persuaded people to buy a Saturn, a decision they'd live to regret. Daytona in the arcade was such immoderate fun, it's little wonder the console version couldn't match it. But surely they could have done better than this blocky pish nightmare. There was one ray of light though. Holding down a few buttons meant you could transform your vehicle into a horse and go charging around the track like a 4-legged racing banshee. Once you've done this a few times though, feel free to use the game as a coaster. You've had as much amusement with it as you're ever going to get. At number 4, arcade-style baseball sim, MLB Slugfest. Now this is a game where, as far as cheats are concerned, the principle of more equals better has been rigorously applied. A bewildering number of secret codes unlock an avalanche of hidden options, from dwarf team to clowns, horses, even dolphins. Bats can be changed into logs, maces and even ice, while the stadium can be transported to all sorts of exotic places. No doubt about it, MLB Slugfest has a higher concentration of cheats than the Italian football squad. And we'll bring you more of our top 5 cheats later in the show. Balloons. Anyway, there's a shopping theory that says you get what you pay for. Well, that's not true. A couple of months ago, I paid 75,000 baht over the internet for Kelly Sue, and I'm still waiting for her to come over here and be my bride. Here's some more facts coming at you from today's Behind the Games. A wise man once told me to be wary of camels. He said never trust anybody who can go a whole week without a drink. But in 1984, camels became the unlikely heroes of a top-selling video game for the Commodore. And no ordinary camels either. These ones were mutant and bent on revenge.
Revenge of the Mutant Camels is a scrolling shooter game for the Commodore 64 where you, as a camel, have to attack 42 levels of bizarrely shaped enemies. The reason I chose camels is simply because I've always been fond of camels ever since I was in school. For some reason I just have a strange attraction for these strange, odd-looking creatures. We had Attack of the Mutant Camels first, in which the camels were the enemy and you flew a spacecraft attacking them. But I rather liked camels and I felt sorry for them being attacked, so I changed the story so the camels became the heroes and rose up against their oppressors. To produce Revenge of the Mutant Camels took about 2 months, and basically most of that time was just me sat down with lots of cups of tea in front of my computer. You'd start out by just designing a few sprites or get that going in, then get the bullets in, then just sit down and bang out attack waves. That probably took about 6 weeks of the process. Then the final process is getting the tape duplicated and getting the cover artwork made. That took another couple of weeks on the end, and 2 months start to finish, and there's a finished game. How did the game change my life? I guess it changed it in a very positive way, because it got me quite well known in the Commodore scene and set up Llamasoft to be well known for a few years afterwards. Looking back now, I feel very happy about the game. A lot of people enjoyed it, and I'm still remembered for that game probably more than for any of my other games, really. We never made that much money from it. Llamasoft was never rich in the way that some other software houses were rich, but it gave us a good living for a few years.
Trawl through tabloids and men's lifestyle mags in search of the hottest ladies to stage our very own Top Totty dance-off. Marsh, Pinder, Pearson, Hicks and Downs. Held over the series, 5 gorgeous girls battle it out to see who has the moves to match their curves.
A look at the Dance Challenge table shows Kaylee Pearson still comfortably in the lead with, nearly 2 million points. Her nearest rival, Katie Downs, is nearly, 1.7 million behind.
My jib is at the low because it's the very last of our special dance challenges. This is the last time I get to wear the shirt and the medallions and sit on Dominic's big couch of love with a phenomenally attractive woman. But the good news is this time it is luscious, lovable Lucy Pinder. I've always thought it's a great name because you can do that luscious. Lovable Lucy.
Or juicy.
Pinder. Juicy Lucy. Let's not go there. I remember when you first appeared in the Star. Let's tell the tale of how you were discovered.
I was discovered on Bournemouth Beach last August, about a year ago.
Yeah.
And then...
What were you doing? Just
sunbathing,
yeah.
with top on. And then the Daily Stare? The Daily Stare, that's the one. Daily Star picked me up.
Upwardly mobile version of it.
Daily Star picked me up and offered me a contract.
Yeah, it did. And I, in fact, funny enough, a very similar situation to you. I was also discovered sunbathing on Bournemouth Beach. I was harpooned by a Japanese trawler, though, unfortunately. And you've had a fantastic year since then.
Yeah, good year.
You're right up in the you're right up in the Champions League now.
Am I?
Well, yeah. In fact, I'm hoping to draw you away, home, anywhere really. When it comes to dancing on this game, physically, I would say some of your attributes that have helped your career might hinder you in this today.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I think I've got...
How are you going to cope with
I've
those
got
twin
a
problems?
holding technique.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to adopt the,
Do you need any help at all? Do you need an extra hand?
I think if I do, I'll give you a shout.
Please do. I can do the Heimlich manoeuvre.
Brilliant.
And lots of other ones. We are facing a possible disaster of mammoth proportions here. To see how Lucy does join us later in the show.
Before we do that, there's time to marvel at the 3 and 2 spots in our top 5 gaming cheats. At number 3, it's Tomb Raider 2. Now, this cheat caused a level of interest and excitement that's pretty difficult to understand now, and we're not talking about that mythical nudity cheat. Oh no, this one involved fiddling about with a special joypad combination, and by doing so, idle players with far too much time on their hands could amuse themselves for a few seconds by watching Miss Lara Croft explode. People would do this again and again and again. There wasn't really much point to it. But then, as many innocent young gamers were later to discover, there's no real point to being alive either. I know. I've read Sartre. And Camus. Virtual Rally 3 is another game that tries manfully to keep the cheats tradition alive. Entering various developers' nicknames as the player will transform your vehicle into a hovercraft, a mini, or a squishy version of itself. It's like getting all the effects from taking drugs without doing the illegal bit. Best of all, though, is the helium voice cheat, which makes it sound like David Beckham is doing the commentary. I will have the best cheat ever in part 2. Coming up in the alternative video game show, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with a tortured poet. The showdown you've been waiting for, FIFA versus Pro Evo, and the best gaming cheat ever. But first, the 4 best words we've ever had on the show, Lucy, Pinder, Dance Challenge. Here's Steve.
Thanks, Dominic, and it's another special occasion for all you dance enthusiasts out there. Lucy Pinder, another girl adopting a barefooted technique. I couldn't convince her to take anything else off, although believe you me, viewers, I tried. She's on there at the moment. Just look at the concentration. She knows it's harder than it looks. She's got 2 big obstacles in her way. Rhythm and technique. If she can overcome those, the world is indeed her oyster. But she's sort of just hovering about at the moment. I wouldn't really call it dancing as such. I don't know whether or not she's using some Jedi power, or indeed whether she's following the instructions on the screen. I'd advise her to follow the instructions on the screen, but it's too late.
Lucy, how do you think you did there?
I think I may have taken the bottom slot.
Yeah, I think you might have
I was
too.
trying.
Oh, you were a trier?
Yeah.
You were trying like a bear.
You gotta be first or last.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone forgets the middle.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're like the Eddie the Eagle of dance stage. Yeah, exactly. What? Where's he now? He's busy sunbathing on Bournemouth Beach trying to get noticed by the Star. Over here, he can't. So what were some of the problems that you faced there?
Just too many arrows.
But the one thing I do have to say, one thing you've taught me is that obviously, you had to control certain parts of you there, and I now know if there is such a thing as reincarnation, I want to come back as one of Lucy Pinder's hands. That would just be, that would do me all right. Forget about Nirvana. I'll just go for the hands. So, a look at the final table reveals. Lucy Pinder is indeed at the bottom, 26,835. But the winner, with a mammoth 1,952,105 points, count them all, Kaylee Pearson. Now, Kaylee, obviously you've won in the past, FHM, High Street Honeys, and now you've won this though.
How does this feel? Amazing.
Yeah, how do you feel inside?
I feel absolutely brilliant.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm so pleased for you. I would like to then formally award you with our ginormous When Games Attack Dancing Challenge trophy.
Oh, thank you.
And it may not look like a big thing, but a little extra present in there for you. Like to fish it out.
Can you hold that for me?
I certainly can. Just a little bonus.
Oh,
My phone number. You might need it. Never know. See, you're kicking yourselves now, girls, aren't you? Let's face it.
all for me.
But you can share it. Do you know what I mean? Because you've all done equally well. Okay, that's it for the dance challenge. Let's go get some milk and cookies.
One says black, the other says white. One says left, the other says right. They never can agree. Being Xbox, PlayStation, people PC. Time to cook their fuse to bed as Queenie and Cousin.
Well, viewers, it's that time again. Another head-to-head. 2 more games put to the sword by me and Queenie and... Sorry. What's with the keys? You've joined the Swingers Club. Ah, what? An all-female Swingers Club. Go and get your boxes. Today we've got a fantastic head-to-head for you. Cuddly's opting for Pro Evolution Soccer 4. That means Queenie's got to be going for FIFA 2005. It's the battle all fans want to see because they want to know just exactly how much better is Pro Evo 4. Round 1. Graphics.
Take a look at the players' faces in FIFA Football 2005. The resemblance between the real-life players and their virtual counterparts is at times astonishing. Equally, Pro Evolution Soccer 4 has received much praise for its fluid player animation. Every skillful trick, powerful shot and swift moment of ball control is the result of the very best in motion capturing. But which game has the better visuals? 54% of the 100 gamers we surveyed said Pro Evolution 4 had the better graphics. Round 1 to Pro Evolution. 2 rounds to go.
1-0 to Cuddly and Pro Evo 4. I have to say, Queenie, if there was any category you were going to win, I thought it might have been that one. I think you're in trouble here. Round 2, gameplay.
Gameplay-wise, FIFA Football 2005 gives fans no reason to complain. The series has been constantly improved over the years, and the new first-touch control system gives players a new level of skill and flair on the ball. On the other hand, many believe Pro Evolution Soccer 4's ultra-responsive controls and intense atmosphere make it as close as you can get to being a professional superstar in the beautiful game. But what do you think? %75% of those surveyed said Pro Evolution's gameplay was superior to FIFA's. Round 2 to Pro Evolution. 1 more round to go.
So it comes as no surprise, Pro Evo 4 has already won this particular head-to-head for Cuddly. But Queenie, don't despair. There's one category left. You might win that. If it's marketing spend. Oh, it's not. It's lifespan.
With a comprehensive offering of licensed clubs and players, FIFA Football 2005 demands to be played until its next annual incarnation. Most addictive of all is the time-consuming management mode, where you can coach your team from lower leagues to cup glory. Pro Evolution Soccer 4 has fewer options, but its simplicity is also its beauty. Pro 4 is a no-nonsense football game, and through all its versions, you've never heard the words major overhaul once. There hasn't been a need for one, and that's why fans continue to pick up the pad. But which of them keeps you playing more? %52% of our survey said Pro Evolution had the longer lifespan. Pro Evolution takes the final round. At 3 rounds to 0, Pro Evolution Soccer 4 is the undisputed winner.
Yes! Do you know, Queenie, I almost feel sorry for you. There's no way FIFA 2005 was ever going to topple the mighty Pro Evo. And because of your stupidity, it's a whopping forfeit for you this time. Let's have you, Cuddly. Oh yeah, we're not mucking around today. Let her have it. And let's have no more silliness again from you. Join us next time for another head-to-head.
Time now to put you out of your misery by revealing the #1 spot in our list of memorable cheats. Here's the 4 we've had so far. At 5, horsing about in Daytona racing. In 4, MLB Slugfest with its legions of bizarre teams. At 3, Lara explodes like so many of our young fans. At number 2, cheap but effective voice font in V-Rally 3. But our #1 gaming cheat ever is Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2. Now, any cheat that lets you play as a TIE fighter gets our vote, but Rogue Squadron offers much more than that, with 3 bonus missions, upgrades and vehicles ranging from the Imperial Shuttle to Slave 1. But the best cheat lets you jump behind the wheel of a 1950s Cadillac and fly around the galaxy like an interstellar James Dean without the horrible crash. It's freedom on a grand scale. It's a bracing ride, but most importantly, kids, it teaches you if you want the good things in life, it's best to cheat.
Captain, the Star Destroyer! It's crashing into the planet!
Oh, that was lucky. Last one in the shop. Hang on. £3.35 for a lousy gag. Extortionate. America. Land of the brave, home of the free. And a place where even one single supersized portion of a fast meal can render you incapable of movement for up to a week. But there are stories to be told over there, and we need to tell them. Here's this week's feature. Poets are inspired by many different things. For Milton, it was the eternal struggle between heaven and hell. For someone like Eliot, say it was the spiritual crisis at the heart of man. For Seth Barkan, it's a yellow mouth eating dots while being chased by ghosts.
Pac-Man, the terror I experienced during my tactical flight is very real. as real as any nameless creeping horror derived from any supernatural stalking presence, waiting to seize me from the darkness at my back while walking down a black alleyway. They are coming for me. They are coming for me. And I am powerless to stop them.
Seth Barkan is a poet and author who was born and still lives in Las Vegas, a city that has a good claim to be the most bizarre place on the planet. Seth's book of poetry about video games, titled Blue Wizard is About to Die, was published earlier this year and has proved something of a hit. For me, Barkan's verse captures the essence of the gaming experience in a surprisingly effective way.
Seth, Dominic Diamond, how you doing?
Great.
Cool, nice to meet you for the very first time.
Upon entering the house, my initial feeling was one of trepidation. Could Seth's mind be as chaotic as his living room? Time for me to put on my intellectual pants.
Seth Barkan, I'm intrigued that you have chosen as the starting point of this poetic odyssey the video game. Why?
My approach to poetry is to try to universalize any common experience, so like whether that's, drinking in a bar, seeing a pretty girl, a car accident, whatever. And I thought, what could be a more universal subject matter than video games?
So in effect, what you're saying is that a car crash involving 20 nuns has the same emotional validity as Mario jumping on a Koopa Trooper.
You could put it that way, yeah. Mario, king of plumbers, cartoon hands, white gloves, a psychotic jumping thing.
He is a symbol of control to you.
Yeah, and, he uses those around him with reckless abandon. People are objects to him. Commander of the psychotic and useless power of Yoshi, a creature so dumb and pointless that only you, my little mustachioed Italian freak, would dare punch it in the back of the head, as if to say, ready the tongue, prepare to fire!
Having spent the day with him, it's clear that Seth's success is no fluke. He is a poet of real talent who's just happened to turn a sharp and original eye onto video games.
Things are exploding into lines of red and orange starbursts, little pixel fireworks. Even though I'm sure this means something bad, like maybe each little pop is a human I should have tried to save, I can't help but think that it's pretty.
Do you see Defender as a metaphor for your life?
Actually, yeah. You could go there.
Do you rescue humanoids?
No, usually I enjoy watching them die. Despite my cluelessness, I keep playing, feeding quarters into the machine just to watch the pretty colors.
Is Vegas the quintessential video game?
I could actually agree with that.
Would you say it was profound, what I said?
It borders on it, yeah.
Thank you.
Possibly. We're going to make millions doing this. You and me, kid. Millions.
What lies on the horizon then for Seth Barkan, poet?
The next book, it looks like, is going to be poems that are almost exclusively about bars in Vegas, because that's what I've been doing lately. It's what I've always done. Old hand.
Seth Barkan, thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
You probably wouldn't want to swap lives with him, but Seth is a true original, and these days, that's a rare commodity.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it very fast.
And that's it for another When Games Attack. I'm off to a clothes shop to see if I can last longer than 10 seconds without some lovely assistant coming up and saying, "Do you need any help, sir?" as if I'm a complete mindless moron. Goodbye.